Alright, it is 9:54 a.m. and I'll be honest, it feels like today is just not my day, just a little frustrating, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and go over the setup. CYBL was the first trade I had, which was a morning panic bounce play. This one did not work out when I got in, but it did play out eventually. I'll go over it. At 9:34, I was in CYBL at 18.8, so right here 9:34, 18.8, and it looked like it was going to be a turnaround right here because there was a lot of people supporting it at this point. At 186, there was a whole wall of bidders at 186 supporting it, and I thought, okay, I could be in at 188, and 186 is right there with a whole bunch of support. It can totally uptrend. The level 2 looks nice, but what happened is that people still had a lot of shares to sell, so they kept dumping and dumping and dumping their shares. And my idea was that if it gets to the point where it looks like it's going to break 186, I'm going to get out because it might downtrend some more. After all, if there's a big wall of bidders at 186, I'm in at 188, and people are just taking out everybody that's sitting there at 186, I feel like it's going to downtrend some more. And that was the case with that. So I got out the next minute, actually, yeah, at 187. Right here, I got out at 187, just one tick from my entry, so I lost $1 from this trade, and it did get lower. It got to the 183s. I did try to place another order, but I didn't get filled. I tried to buy 20,000 shares at 937. It looks like it was going to turn around at 186, but I never got filled, and it did follow the trend line break right here. But sometimes you have to be a little early because it might just jump way above the trend line breaking point, and then you're not in a position. But it did turn around here, and I just wasn't able to get filled, which is unfortunate. And then it started the uptrend, and now it's all hieroglyphic looking, all ugly. But at the time, it was super nice, and that was a setup. Would have been nice, of course, if I would have been a part of it, but that's totally fine. And then I got in KGKG, and this one was a little frustrating because this one trades with a spread. It's really disgusting the way this one trades, but if I were to have seen this, I would have been a part of this. I've liked trading high day breakouts. It's been something I've been working on a little more. And I was looking at CYBL, but this was a very nice breakout above the 21 level, which was also red to green. So that would, make it do a nice move like it did here. But man, this one trades disgusting. It trades with a wide spread, and then it's like choppy. It's like not fluid. You're not able to get in and out rather easily. It's very ugly. But I did see the uptrend. I saw the downtrend, and I thought, maybe it didn't get to VWAP, but it might continue the uptrend, even after a small downtrend here because of how strong it can be. It also looks like a bull flag, looking at it now, but I did get in KGKG. Let me get rid of the verified canceled orders, and I got in at 948, 234 right here. And it looked like it was going to turn around, and there was a lot of people supporting 231 and also 23. So I thought, okay, I could be in at 234. If it doesn't work, it downtrends to 231, and then it breaks that, then it's at 23. And then if it looks like it's going to break the 23 level, I'll be getting out of the trade ideally before something like that would happen. But best case scenario, it consolidates and it continues to make a move towards the upside like it is doing here. But geez, the way this one trades is disgusting. And I got out ultimately at 951. I did have a, let me just go over it. I was in at 948 right here, and I did have an interest in selling when it shot up to the 24 level. And then what happened was is that immediately the level 2 kind of flicked, and it started a downtrend, and it looked super ugly. But I did place a sell order at 24 at 951, and I didn't get filled. And the worst part about it, the thing with Fidelity is that when I try to cancel this order so I could try to sell at a better price like 237, 236, the issue was is that it took like a whole minute before the order got canceled. Like there's a cancel button when you're in a trade, and it just did not successfully cancel, so I wasn't able to have it cancel so I could sell at a lower price. But eventually I did get out at 951. Not the best sell here, but I didn't like how I wasn't able to get out of my position at 235. So I barely made anything there, and I lost a little on CYBL. and I did miss out on the ultimate level 2 turnaround, but that's fine. At least I tried. And I did try with KGKG. I just hate the way this one trades. NICH, I did see this dip under VWAP, but I didn't want to consider it, even though it had a nice run up, because the thing is up on a gap up, so it's not clean, and it did fail. And ABML did downtrend, but yeah, I just don't like the way this one is trading either. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'll make an update later, but there's nothing at this point that I want to trade. A little frustrating again, but it could be a lot worse. Alright, take a look at this price action. It's 119 by 120. The thing just shot up. It had a whole bunch of volume. The first candle, the second candle, after a little pause, is also uptrending with a lot of volume. Kind of sketchy when it just, if you ask me, spikes up like this. But I did trade ABML, and this looked a little bit like an inverse head and shoulders. In theory, maybe the shoulder, the head, and then I was right here trading the shoulder. It looked like it was going to break VWAP, and it looked like there was also a lot of support. I was in 200 shares at 10.04, which was right here, right? Yeah, 10.04. So like right before it broke out. And the idea was is that if it was gonna break 10.14, not 10.14, wow, 1.14, I will be out at 1.13, and then having 200 shares at 1.16. So that was a $6 risk level. I guess in theory, I should have had 300 shares, because that would have been a $9 risk level, and that will be close to my $10 risk level that I'm trying to trade more consistently with OTC setups. So I should have had 100 more shares there, but you know, I did trade 200 shares. At least I didn't trade 100 shares, right? And I was in at 116. It just shot up, and I didn't necessarily like that too much. And I did sell the next minute at 10.05 when it just had a pause at the top here, and it was kind of sketchy. And I got out at 18 and a half. So 18 and a half was right here. I don't know how I got 18 and, oh yeah, because 18 and a half. I guess this was 18 and a half, and it rounded up to 19. I basically got in again right here, and I sold right here. It's still uptrending, but I don't mind selling if it's just going to have a random pause right here after it just shot up like that on big volume. That's a bit scary for me. And yeah, I mean, it got as high as 121. Maybe it can continue the uptrend, but this is kind of crazy when it just floats up like this. I would have liked it. If this thing was a little more gradual, I probably would have held on to the setup better. So I'm gonna guess I'm up like $5 from this trade with ABML, and I should have had again 300 shares. And as for the other setups, nothing with CYBL unless it were to like downtrend and break VWAP with a lot of volume and then be like a higher low, maybe a double bottom or lower low setup, but that's not the case. I probably will remove this one. And as for KGKG, it looks like it's trying to break the day high, but I just don't like the way this one trades. Pretty happy that I had one trade here with ABML. Should have had again 300 shares, but yeah, that wasn't too bad at all. It looks like it cleared itself up. As you can see before, it was just a line. I got out at 18 and a half, so might have been right around there. I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 7:01 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I am up on the day $5.50, and all of that was from ABML, which worked. All of these other ones were scratches like CYBL. This could have been it. When I got in, it didn't work out, of course, but at least I tried to get in at 186 right around here when it was doing that morning panic bounce play. Would have been very profitable there, and I would have had 20,000 shares too. The thing with ABML, it did work out, but it was just weird, the uptrend. But it did get higher, and I think it could have sold a little better and again have more shares. I did trade a KGKG one more time. That was at the afternoon. And why? Because it looks like it was going to break this 29 level, and then in theory maybe break the high of day, and that would be super nice. It didn't do it, but it could have. It just traded super weird. I got in at 346.29 right here, 346.29, because it rejected here, but it looked like it was going to actually do it. It did uptrend. I mean, it almost got to 30, but the way it traded was so sketchy. very similar to when I traded it way back here, and I eventually sold 3 minutes later at a slight profit. I didn't make very much. Ideally, it would have went, above the 30 level and I've traded some more, not have traded so weird. But that was the last trade I had with that. So yeah, just a few scratches. Best case scenario, I would have been able to have traded CYBL with 20,000 shares, and that would have been nice. But that's fine. At least I tried. And this one did turn around, but this one was all weird. That is a mega sketchy looking candle. Did it actually get that low to the 19th? Wow. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I don't like stocks that uptrend the next day on the gap up. It always just makes me feel like we're floating above the air and there's no, floor. It's just gonna float all the way back down or break under with no actual support. That is crazy. That's about it for today. And yeah, I could have been a part of this KGKG breakout right here, but I stopped looking at the stocks because I just felt like it wasn't my day. It just felt kind of weird, like something is fighting against me. So I figured not to fight with it and go do a whole bunch of other things and catch up with some work. And that's what I did there. But this could have been a nice setup where it broke out. It's right here, this 25 level, or right here, the confirmed breakout when it uptrends a little and then it comes back and then it shoots forward. But the way this one trades, maybe I wouldn't even have traded this one properly. It did dip towards VWAP and it did bounce, but I wasn't there for that one. And again, this thing just trades mega sketchy. You can just tell by the way the candles are shaped. In theory, I could have done that, but who knows because of how ugly this one trades. But yeah, I think some good experience overall. I think I needed to have been more sized on the last KGKG setup. A few things I could have done a lot better, but I think, a step in the right direction. It just didn't really feel like my day, and I think that's fine. That's all I have for today.